They are said to be good with money. Jews make good furriers, diamond cutters, salesmen of household goods, and the like. In Crown Heights, we are scholars. We study Torah and Talmud. We do not excel at sports. We are not dominant handball players. A Hasid in his black suit and hat and wearing handball gloves is an image straight from the Sunday funnies. But I wore my white calfskin gloves with pride, both palms showing equal evidence of hard use. I'm not the only Jew to ever play handball. Far from it. Handball was practically a Jewish game at one time. We've been champions, dominant in the older days, with names like Hershkowitz, Ornstein, Lewis, Sandler, Eisenberg, Rosenfeld, Jacobs, Haber. I could go on, although I am surely the only Hasid, the only pious one. I suppose I should say I was the only pious one. Some would deny I am even still a Jew, and I would have a hard time making a case for myself. Certainly, frum Jews do not play handball for money on Shabbos. Of this there is no debate, and I cannot justify what I did. At 15, I was no longer a child. I made my choices. But this was a special day on my home court. Players would be coming from all over the city and beyond for this tournament. I am sure some had already heard of me. The wiry little Yid who played in secret on Shabbos, the Yid with his payas kachdate behind his ears, the Yid who does not talk trash like the other players do. There is always much trash talk in handball. Talk is a big part of the New York game, the swagger and intimidation, the street tradition. Imagine what they were saying at the sight of me forking over my entry fee in my black suit and white brim fedora. I signed up for the men's open small ball instead of the under-17 group because I wanted a chance to play against the best of them. I knew nothing of tournament play then. My only strategy was to win, to beat my opponents as quickly and devastatingly as possible, and that is what I did. In the 32s, I went up against an Asian from Queens who was obviously humiliated to be sharing the court with a 15-year-old Hasid. There were jeers and taunts, put silent as I destroyed him quickly, 21-3 and 21-5. In the 16s, I faced a big Hispanic guy who came with an entourage from the Bronx. I had heard his name before, supposedly a macher. Many bets were placed in his favor. He was stronger and far better schooled than I was. I do not mean to sound boastful, but I read his game and played him like a klezmer fiddle. By late afternoon, they all knew the rumors of my game were true. I saw the expressions on the faces in the crowd. These were not the faces of Gentiles mocking because a Hasidic boy had desecrated the Sabbath. Quite the opposite. Some would tell their children of the first time they saw me play. The prodigy would one day rank with the great names of old. They would remember when Zev Altshul stepped from his Erev and into the world on Shabbos to play for the glory of Hashem, the God of the Jews, who was not the giver of unkeepable commandments, but of joyous gifts. I stayed to watch the other games finish, eating a hot dog with mustard and sauerkraut while peering through the chain link, when a man, I would say somewhere in his 50s, came up to me laughing. "Those aren't kosher, you know," he said, pointing to my Sabre hot dog. "They say they're kosher style, but it's treif." So this man was a Jew? I was embarrassed and did not know what to say. I held up my can of Dr. Brown's Celery soda. "Oh, so we have a trade-off, huh? A Dr. Brown's nullifies a Sabre." He laughed aloud again. "I can get behind that," he said. "Listen, kiddo, just so you know, I'm going to put some money on you for the quarters tomorrow. The odds are steep, so I'm not risking that much. But I'll make a bundle if you can step up. You think you can do that?" I shrugged, trying not to seem cocky. He said, "I think you've got a chance, at least of making it through the quarters." I smiled for the first time all day before he dumped a cold bucket of reality on my kindled confidence. "None of them know you yet, and it will take them a while to figure you out. But once they do, you're toast. You've got arm, kid. That's what Vic Hershkowitz told me when I was younger than you." "Vic Hershkowitz. You know who he is?" Of course I did. "You're natural," the man said. "You put a lot of stuff on the ball, and you're tough to return. But you'll never be great until you can hit harder." That's what